Alright there trainers, I'm some Northern guy. Now today we're going to look at some more of my past teams, this time from Generation 5. However, before I begin, I just want to mention that I've started a Discord server. For those of you who don't know what Discord is, it's an app you can get on your computer or on your phone, or you can just use it in your web browser. That is sort of like a chat room. And I wanted to create a place where Pokemon fans can come and have a chat with me and other YouTubers and discover some new content from people they might not have seen just watching videos on YouTube, like up-and-coming PokeTubers and a lot of smaller channels as well. So please feel free, come and join the server, have a chat about Pokemon. If you're a content creator yourself, then share your content and just genuinely have a laugh. It's also a good way to keep up with me and my videos because I'm going to post them on there as they come out, as well as on Twitter. I'll leave a link to the server in the description, and now that that's out of the way, the only thing left to say is, where's North from here? So as I've mentioned already today, we're looking at my teams from Generation 5. Now Gen 5 is like Marmite. You either love it or you hate it. And personally, I love it. I had a lot of fun in Generation 5 and the first game I played from Gen 5 was Pokemon White. And my team from White version is just as memorable as the one from Heart Gold I spoke about last video. Now they weren't exactly the strongest Pokemon available, but they were very fun to use and very interesting, and that is pretty much the theme of my Gen 5 teams, both in White and Black too. I chose Pokemon that I thought were interesting and that were very fun to use. So kicking things off, we have Emboar. Tepig was my starter in White, it was the first Gen 5 starter I chose, and what's not to love, apart from firefighting all over again. But hey, they're my two favourite types, so I can live with that. Plus Emboar looks like Ganondorf. I love that reference. Don't know whether that was intentional, but I hope it was. The next Pokemon on the team was Stoutland, and personally speaking, Stoutland is one of the best early game Pokemon you can get in all of Pokemon. It's not quite Diggersby level, but it is close. Next was Simisage, which I got as the free Pansage you can get just before the first gym. Now Black and White did something very interesting where the first gym leader depended on what your starter Pokemon was. Since I chose Tepig, mine was Cress and he had the water type Panpour. So just before the first gym, an NPC gives you the elemental monkey that is strong against the gym leaders. And because I chose Tepig, I got the grass type Pansage, which is very fortunate for me because before even going into the game, Pansage was my favourite of the elemental monkeys, just based off its design. Pansage stayed with me for quite a while and I evolved it into a Simisage just before the third gym. Next was Swoobat, because I wanted a flying type and I thought it was interesting that Swoobat was like a Zubat clone, but it was a psychic type instead of a poison type. I don't really use psychic type Pokemon that often, so that was quite a nice mix-up for me. Now Swoobat's a good example on this team of a Pokemon that isn't exactly powerful, but it was very fun to use. Next I needed a water type and I went with Seismitoad. Now at the time of me catching it, Tympole was the only water type you could get if you didn't choose Oshawott as your starter Pokemon. And I really like Seismitoad's water ground typing. It's a very fun type to use and it brought back fond memories of Swampert from Pokemon Sapphire. And the 6th slot on my team went to Vanillux. As soon as I saw Vanillite, I fell in love with it. It's so adorable. And I rarely choose Pokemon because they're cute. I got Vanillite just before taking on Clay, who's the ground type gym leader, and it helped out a lot in that gym. So up until the 5th badge, this was my team. But after that, I got my friend, who was currently at Victory Road, he was quite far ahead of me, to trade me a Dino, because I really wanted a Hydreigon, and it evolves at a very high level, and I wanted to get a head start on it so I could use it in the Pokemon League. So I replaced Simisage for Dino because I knew that the last 3 gyms were Flying, Ice and Dragon, and Simisage wouldn't really do too well in them. By the time I got to the Pokemon League, Dino had evolved into Xylos, but I couldn't quite give it that last push to get to Hydreigon, so this was the team I defeated the Elite Four with. Then came the showdown with N and Ghetsis, so when I caught Zekrom I sent Swoobat back to the box so Zekrom could take on N in a classic epic showdown between Zekrom and Reshiram. So technically this was the team I beat the game with. But in the post game I swapped Swoobat back in, travelled around the rest of Unova, trained up my team and Xylos finally evolved into Hydreigon. So I went back to the Pokemon League, defeated the Elite Four, took on Alder, and this was my champion team. Now we move on to Black 2. Now, Black and White 2 were very interesting because it's something Game Freak had never done before. We got direct sequels to Pokemon games of the same generation, and they were set 2 years later. And in those 2 years, Unova had changed quite a bit. You could now get Pokemon from the other 4 generations, and I think they explained it something like they stowed away on cargo ships and trains and things like that, and that's how they got to the Unova region. Now, I originally started Black 2 with Oshawott because I hate Oshawott, alright? I hate Oshawott, I hate Duwott, and I especially hate Samurott with a burning, fiery passion. I just get it out of my face. They are the worst starters. They look stupid as hell. But I wanted to give them a chance. So I started with Oshawott, got about halfway through, got Samurott, and I couldn't do it. I hated it. So I started again. Now I can't remember all of that team, but I will come back to it in another video, to sit tight for that one. But my actual proper Black 2 team started with Snivy. So we're kicking things off on this list with Serperior. For my fire type this time round, I went with Magmortar. Now, I'd used Magmar in the past, but never Magmortar, and I always hated its design. I thought it looked stupid, but after using it, I actually really like it. And to complete the holy trinity of grass, fire and water, I went with Jellicent. Water ghost type, very fun to use, and you're going to hear me say that a lot, because as I said, that was kind of the theme for my Unova teams, fun Pokemon. Next, I got Bisharp. I considered it using it in Black and White 1, but I never actually did it, and again, really powerful Pokemon. I think my Black 2 team in terms of power was stronger than my White team. My 5th slot went to Swanna. Now, I don't usually double up on types. The first time I ever did that was in Heart Gold, when I had Charizard and Infernape, but I wanted to give Swanna a go because I thought it was a very cool looking Pokemon, and it was quite a laugh, and it was very handy having a Surf and a Fly user in one Pokemon. Yes, it was technically a Pelipper clone, but I can live with that. Now, the 6th Pokemon on my team was Glaceon. But after about the 5th badge again, I actually transferred a Mamoswine from White over to Black 2 and used that instead, because I had Jellicent and Swanna who were both weak to Electric, so I wanted to have a ground type in there, but keep the Ice type for the Dragon Gym. So this was my final Black 2 team, and these were the guys that helped me beat the Pokemon League and defeat Iris to become the Unova champion the 2nd time. And that's it for my Gen 5 teams. I didn't start again on White or Black 2, but I have been itching to play them again, so maybe after Ultra Sun, I'll delve back into Gen 5. If you liked this video, then hit the thumbs up and leave a comment telling me your favourite Gen 5 team. If you want to see some more stuff from me, then hit the subscribe button and don't forget to click the bell to turn on notifications so you can stay up to date with all my videos. I'll see you all next time, and I hope to see you in the Discord server as well. But until then, keep training and have a good one. See you later.